What a lackluster FOMC. We got our 0.25 rate cut. We've got an announcement that they're going to start with buying $40 billion worth of treasuries in a couple of days. Initially, that sent the market up dramatically. I believe we hit 690 on the SPY at one point, but then it cratered in after hours and pretty much took absolutely everything with it. And with the SPY sitting here with, okay, you can see RSI is at 61. You can see the stochastics are all up over 80. The BX trender is printing a red dot there. And meanwhile, the SPY is doing this kind of like flat little channel up here. This kind of opens up an opportunity that a Santa rally may not happen. If we lose this level right here, you see that volume spike there, and I'll tell you the price level here in a second. Underneath, we lose 683, and we end up in this big volume pocket that goes all the way down to 672, and that kind of deflates the whole Santa rally thing. Or maybe the market wants to do something like this, dump down, and then for the end of the year, the Santa rally is 672 back to 683. Maybe we'll see, but this is not looking great. It's not looking very productive for that. And as you can see on the right-hand side, lots of things are down dramatically. Soxol's down almost 3%. USAR 1.5. Nebius 3.8. It'll be good for my covered call, but not my stock. HIMS 0.61. I'm gonna have to let that go for a loss today. I did enter. Oh, Pepsi's actually up today. That's not bad. I did enter a Tesla call yesterday. It's down 0.5%. I might get stopped out of that this morning as well. Kind of sucks. Bitcoin still holding $90,000, but it's just going flat. Like it's just this flatness right here, just flat, right between 94 and 90. And we could keep doing this indefinitely. Like no reason for it to go up or down. Not really any catalyst at this time. Ethereum, I think, was looking a little bit more constructive. Yes, it's looking a little more constructive, but it does need to take this 9, hit the 50, take the 50, bounce around between that and the 200, and then eventually get out of the 200 at some point. And I do think that Ethereum may have more legs than Bitcoin simply because of its utility layer and the fact that it's being used for it's tokenizing stocks as we speak here, which will become a larger and larger part of the crypto network, like the what's it called, the ecosystem, the crypto ecosystem. And you can see like there is a trend line here. It's breaking. There's a bit of a wedge that was coming down, and we're coming out of that. So we have a little more on Ethereum than I think on Bitcoin right now. Now, Bitcoin, it's not to say that Bitcoin's done or anything, or that Ethereum is going to be the top dog or anything at this point in time. Simply that it looks a little more constructive than Bitcoin, simply because it has that economic aspect of it versus just a store value. Solana is going very flat. Solana's going very, 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 very flat there. I'd like to see Solana, it could be basing here at like 130, 120. And that would be also probably maybe not a terrible spot to accumulate, but I would want to make sure that it's not going to go underneath that 120, because it goes underneath that 120, we're likely going to go sub 100 on Solana. So another thing, the government announced that they're getting really into robotics. They're saying robotics is super important. And if you follow the channel for a while, you know that we watched some robotic stocks like Teradyne. I've been watching Teradyne since, $100 for a while. I did not get into it mistakenly. I should have gotten into it, but yeah, I've been watching Teradyne since about $100. I'm looking for basically any entry on this. They are a pick and shovel play for robotics, and they partner with Amazon for a lot of that stuff that they do, and they provide. They do semiconductor cleaning, plus they have a robotics arm. Then we're looking at ones like, Tesla is also a robotics one, that with the Optimus robot, robotaxis, those sorts of things. This is 100% a robotics play and will likely benefit from that government money. Another one is RR. That's one that I'm currently in right now. And I do like this. It's looking very much like a cup and a handle. We can break above the 50. This can break out up to $6-7 again, which would be from current prices. If we go up to 6, we're looking at 40, 44, 45%. If we go up to 7, we're looking at 70%. This is looking pretty good. All right, I don't hate that. I would like to see it above the 50-day moving average, but this is looking constructive to get there. Serve is another one. They do last mile delivery, the little like coolers you see on the sidewalk driving around if you're in a big city. This one as well. It's also got a big cup. It's looking like it's trying to make a little handle. As long as it can hold here at this volume spike, we could potentially bounce off of that and then run back for all-time highs, which not all, is that all-time highs or just recent highs? Recent highs of somewhere around like $18, $19, which would be a significant increase from current prices. We're talking about, 50% up on Serve. So I am watching Serve as well for that. They will likely be beneficiaries of that new initiative from the government to get into and secure robotics as an industry. The other one that they reiterated was nuclear. I like SMR. Why do I like SMR? NuScale Power Corporation. I like SMR because they're the only one with a licensed modular design. They're the only one with a licensed design for a modular nuclear reactor. Nobody else has that. Others have nuclear reactors, full-size ones. SMR is working on a portable one that you can deploy easily to a site, to a prepped site. So SMR is uniquely positioned to potentially be pumping out nuclear reactors at scale very quickly to difficult locations, which sounds exactly like what hyperscalers want to be doing in order to secure power for their AI data centers really quickly, because usually we're talking about 10, 15, 20-year lead times to getting a reactor up and running if they already have a site with power, like hookups, not power, but hookups, and they want to deliver a modular system. SMR is there to get them. So I like SMR for that purpose. Now, is it looking good right now? Not necessarily, but look what we got going on here. We got a bit of an inverted head and shoulders, and this could pop up to that 200-day moving average. And as we've seen and that one's currently, that's at $30, so it's like a $10 move. What we have seen in the past, though, we have seen pretty explosive moves from these lower levels down here between $17 to $13. We've seen it quickly moving up to $40 and even $50 here on SMR. Now, that was from above the 200-day moving average, coming and hitting it, dancing along the 200-day, and then going higher. Currently, we are in a less advantageous position than that. But if you have a long time horizon, you're willing to wait, you're willing to potentially suffer some red in your portfolio, this is one that I have on my radar to pay attention to and that I am watching very closely for that. There's also like UROI, the uranium royalty. They just basically get paid for companies finding and digging out uranium. This is also doing a bit of an inverted head and shoulders, which could take it back to the high once it's above the 50-day moving average, which is about $5. We've also got this one. They are working on a new type of fuel versus uranium. They're working on delivering thorium fuel to nuclear reactors. And as you've seen, they have popped before from 14 upwards to 28, back to 14 again. And again, they are forming a bit of a bull flag there. Whoops, a bit of a bull flag there that could take them back to the 50, which is currently at $20.75. So nuclear is pretty interesting. VST also provides nuclear power. Now, they've been getting absolutely slammed lately. Like, look at this. Look at this. This has been very systematic sell-off in this little channel right here. Very systematic. Okay. Now, we're under the 200-day moving average. We probably want to come down to this little volume spike right here around 139. That's an area I'm watching very carefully. If it comes down to there and I get a hard bounce, I'm probably going to start buying VST, or at least putting on some spreads, like some call spreads or some call debit spreads or some put credit spreads. We're currently on the daily we're down at 38 on the RSI. We are seeing the BX trend getting weaker and weaker. So VST is not currently a buy right now, but look at once these stochastics start popping up and we get like a green dot on the BX trender, I'll be watching VST very carefully for that move. Okay. Very, very carefully. Like, the weekly also looks bad right now, and that's to be expected. Everything else kind of looks bad too. So yeah, on the weekly, let's look at this volume profile on the weekly. Yeah, again, about 139 on the volume down to 127 at a very low. If we lose that, well, then things are going to get really catastrophic. But yeah, that's that. IMSR, we've played this one before on the channel. This one is terrestrial energy. They're also working on more modular systems for nuclear. I'd want to see this one above 1017 before I'd be interested. But yeah, it looks like it came down, right? And now it wants to form a base between 1017 and $9. But I'd want to see it do a little bit more movement first. SMR is a little more proven to me personally. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. You got to do your own research and come to your own conclusions because investing is risky and you could lose it all. So these videos are for entertainment and educational purposes only. A couple other things. Healthcare has been getting a good rotation lately. I'm watching NVO. NVO's been basing out here very, very nicely between 47 and 50 bucks. And once it's done doing that, this one is still the king of the weight loss drugs. And once it's done basing out here, we could see a move up to 54. We could see it come back to the 200 around 62. And if it surpasses that, we're looking at about 70. And if things go really, 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 really well, maybe back to highs at some point in the future. Of course, we can see that the 200 is starting to taper off from that dump. The 50, not so much yet. I'd like to see the 50 flatten out as well, and I'd like to see price kind of come up into like the mid 50s and then look for that move like that from Novo Nordisk. But I mean, if I wanted to begin a small position, now it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad for that. Okay. Another one on my radar that I'm watching very, very carefully right now is Target. Target, I'm looking for a move up to, once it's above the 200-day moving average, I'm looking for it to hit 105 pretty quickly, maybe even 110. But this is looking fairly constructive, Now, there's a few things I don't love, like the stochastic being above 90 here on the fast ones. The RSI is currently at 62. I'd like to see it cool off a little bit because Target's not that good of a name to where I'm willing to buy it into nearly 70 RSI. But on the weekly's looking a little better. The weekly's looking a little bit better. Like if you have a longer time horizon and you're willing to watch it come back down to 85, right now Target doesn't look bad. It looks like, yeah, okay, it probably wants that 105. Once it gets that 105, it might want 120. And I like what I'm seeing right here because this is looking like a double bottom. And once we confirm that double bottom, we're moving to at least 105. Once we confirm that double bottom, and if we can take out that 105, let me go to a monthly. We can take out that 105, right? We take out that 105. I couldn't find the alarm you asked. Serious spying on me. Once we take out that 105, we got a double bottom here, and that double bottom goes all the way up to about 120, 130. That's pretty exciting. So Target is on my list of things that I'm watching very carefully for the purpose that because it is currently looking technically ripe for a move. Anyways, if you're in the channel memberships, if it happens in the next month, you'll get that alert. If it doesn't, if you're in Stalagmite, you'll get that alert when I get into Target. Same thing with like Novo Nordisk. If I do it in the next month, everyone will get it. If it happens after that, well, then it'll be for Stalagmite only. Anyways, that is all I've got for you today. Go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe. We were over 10,000 subscribers now, going for 11,000 now. That's pretty exciting. So follow us if you're getting any kind of good information out of the channel. If not, go ahead and give me a comment. Tell me how I can improve. I'm always trying to improve, trying to make these things better. Check out the channel memberships. All paid tiers are getting the real-time trade posts and members-only videos until January 9th. And if there's some trades I put on that are going to take a little longer than that, I might choose to extend that. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Have a profitable day.